This is the Ring of Honor, a.k.a. Shane T, boy, the baddest champion you ever seen, boy.
This is Mr. Anderson.
This is good old JR Jim Ross, and you are listening.
You're listening to Knockouts and 3 Counts.
Cover! We got a new world champion!
That might be one of the craziest knockouts I've ever seen in my life.
Knockouts and 3 Counts is the podcast leading to the real deal, baby!
Knockouts and 3 Counts starts now.
Ooh, what up, though? It looks like this heat wave is trying to take out my motherfucking internet, but this is Tuesday. This is Knockouts and 3 Counts, and I told you we had a badass episode for you tonight. And hey, man, I try not to lie on this thing. So, for the first time ever, we got the debut of Jazlyn Navarro. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Not bad. There's a little bit of a delay, my bad. But yeah, I'm not doing bad. Like I was saying before we hit the go live button, I'm just glad I didn't have to kill out the supervisor right quick. J-Bone, how the fuck you doing on a Tuesday, man?
I'm good, man. You're a loose cannon. We gotta tame this guy. Somebody tame this man.
Look here, bro. I'm telling you, just put me in the main event, and we are drawing some money in this bitch.
Hey.
Clearly, my internet is not wanting to have it, but I don't know, man. I've been doing my research to get ready for this, and I don't know about you, bro, but I'm looking forward to AIW Absolution coming up. What do you think, bro?
Oh, yeah. You know it, man. You already know it. Always ready for it.
This is going to be... Hey, man, I've been doing my watching, okay? My Sunday was spent, I went and looked back at, what was that, AIW 3D. I watched that one and the one that was in June as well. So I've been doing my research to get me ready for tonight's show. But before we get to what you've got going on with Katie Arquette and all of those good things, in doing our research, man, you've been all over the place lately. So before we get to the matter at hand now, tell me a little bit about how you got into wrestling. Tell us a little bit about your journey so far.
Well, I always was a wrestling fan. Like, I played a bunch of other sports growing up. And, yeah, okay, so yeah, I played a whole lot of different sports growing up. But wrestling has always been, like, one of the things that I really enjoyed the most. So when everybody thought I was going to be like this professional sprinter and stuff, because I was really good at track and field, I just started losing the love for it, you know? So I was like, maybe I'll try wrestling. So I looked for a local wrestling school in Cleveland. I had moved back to school. I had moved back from school, so I moved back to Cleveland, and I found a wrestling school, and then, you know, started wrestling, and it's been, you know, on the up and up ever since.
Were you a big time watcher when you were younger?
See that,
Did you watch
man.
a lot of wrestling?
Yeah. I watched a lot of wrestling. Me and my brother, we watched so much wrestling together. Like, he used to have wrestling birthday parties. So, like, his birthday was like, his birthday isn't at WrestleMania time. His birthday is April 2nd. So every year we used to get WrestleMania for his birthday. And like, we had all the wrestling games, the toys and stuff. We used to pretend like we were the wrestlers and stuff. So
Yeah, that's a good seasonal birthday right there around WrestleMania. Shoot.
yeah.
That's always
I was
good.
going to say, for a young kid, yes, you got used to get WrestleMania when we didn't have Peacock and all those great things. Oh, it's my birthday. You got to buy WrestleMania because Lord knows those pay-per-views weren't cheap even back then. Just ask the UFC now, man. I feel like they're going to make me have to take out a fucking mortgage to be able to buy these UFC pay-per-views and stuff, man.
Pretty much, dude. Pretty much.
Hey, man, $75 every pay-per-view is a pretty fucking penny. That's all I'm saying.
It really is. It's insane.
Ridiculous.
It's
All right. Well, it is. And the thing is, I just read they raised the price of just ESPN Plus by itself because it's like, damn, if it wasn't bad enough, you're already getting $75 for the pay-per-views. He said, fuck it, you got to pay, what is it, $13 a month now?
I think it's 13 now, yeah.
I get ESPN Plus with my phone
dude, like,
bill. So
okay,
that
there
works
you
out
go.
for me. Yeah.
Bundling. You got to bundle.
See, I did the package deal too.
Mm-hmm.
I got the Disney, the Hulu, and the ESPN Plus all in the same thing too. So I'm already hip. Well, you mentioned that wrestling was big for you guys coming up. That you and your brothers watch wrestling. Who were some of your favorites? Because it's funny, a lot we've gotten to bring on the show. You always would think you would hear, like, I don't know, Lita, Chyna, Trish Stratus, stuff like that. But more surprisingly, a lot of the times we get a lot more of, the guys were the ones who, inspired some of these ladies. So who was it for you coming up that got you like, you know what, I want to check out wrestling?
Honestly, it was Jazz and Jacqueline, because
I like it.
They were, two badass girls that were wrestling the men, and then they looked like me. And I always say representation is very, very important, because it's one thing to see somebody doing something, but to see somebody that looks like you in a field of a bunch of people that don't look like you doing something and actually like killing it, I was like, oh shit, like I want to do that too,
Yeah. And you mentioned you said they were
I
kicking
can totally
ass.
respect that, and not a bad pick at all, because Jazz is a monster.
They were wrestling guys back then before, you know what I mean? It's cool now, but they were beating up dudes back then, dude.
Yeah.
Beating them up.
I mean, look, I'm just saying, I've always said, Jazz might be one of those females that I just don't want her a few times at different shows and things like that. I mean, hey, dude, there's a reason why she could get in there and mix it up with the dudes. And speaking of that, tell us a little bit about that. We were doing our research. We've seen that Joseline Navarro isn't afraid to get down, whether it's male or female in the ring. So tell me about that. Like, because that is, you don't see many women that are willing to do that, number one. And number two, do it and it still be an entertaining match. So tell me a little bit about that.
Well, for a long time, like when I first started training, I was the only girl in the class. So I got used to training and wrestling with the guys. But growing up, I was always like I was a tomboy growing up. So like I played football and baseball and all that. So I was always like with the guys. So transitioning into wrestling, and they asked if we were comfortable wrestling the guys, I was like, fuck yeah. Like, So it's really fun working with the guys.
I like it.
I feel like they care about their lives a lot less than the women do. So they're just like, yeah.
That makes sense.
So it's just like, yeah, just kill me. Like, it's fine. And I was just like, okay. Like, so like, and there's nothing wrong with wrestling with women. Like, I have fun wrestling with women, but I have so much fun wrestling with guys. They're so fun to work with.
Do you lay it on a little thicker with the men though? You kind of just put a little more oomph in it.
And I hit them all the same. So
yeah, they can all get it, right?
Yeah,
they all can get it.
Like I tell everybody, like I'm like, I'm snug. Like I'm safe, but I'm snug.
Yeah.
So, the guys be like, yeah, kill me, it's fine. And I'm like, okay.
So they get a good one, and they're like, whoa.
She said, your wish is my command. She said, run up, get done up. You're going to find out today. Look at this. What's going on, Amanda? We're from the Detroit area. But like I said, man, it's funny because you always look at, so when you look into, you obviously, we try to pride ourselves on being professional and all those things, looking things up, making sure we got our stuff together. But what's cool, what I found really interesting in research for you on this show was that just like the wide range of the different amount of opponents you've had. Because, and we've seen, we're going to talk a little bit about last week's guest, Isaiah Broner, in a little bit, because we saw you two go at it recently as well. From those kind of matches to what we've seen you doing with AEW. And, like I said, I'm really looking forward to seeing what's going to happen with this whole Katie Arquette thing, because I watched your last match. I thought you had her, especially once you bagged her when the match started. So I'm looking forward to see what you can make happen in 2 out of 3 falls. Now, I got to give you credit. That is one of the best. That's a quick, easy way to get a job done. I mean, coming from a jiu-jitsu background, fuck the choke. She'll just choke you out with the bag. We're doing good over here. So let's see. Donald said he loved you versus Shaza as well. So I could definitely see that being a dope-ass matchup too. So do you have, when you have like a certain style of opponent that you enjoy being in the ring with most, or do you like the different meshes of the different styles?
I love the different styles because I can wrestle all the different styles. But I don't know. I don't think I have like a really a favorite, I guess. I don't know. Because I like to wrestle, but I also like to brawl and stuff. So I'm like just down the middle. Like I don't know what style is like my favorite, but I don't know. But I do like wrestling all the different styles though.
Gives a little bit of everything, man. You never know. Unpredictable though. That's good.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, man, because like we were saying, Isaiah was on the show with us last week, and he was telling us, he was like, man, she can handle herself. So if it's bad enough that she's got to come get you, I mean, it's gonna be a bad time. Well, we've mentioned it a couple times. Tell me, if I'm not mistaken, aren't you doing some of the training down there at AIW? Or are you helping out with some of the women that are down there?
Yeah, I'm one of the assistant trainers at the school. Yeah.
That's what I thought I read. So tell me a little bit about that. How much has that been able to help you with your game? What made you kind of want to get into? Was the teaching thing something you always wanted to do? And does that give you like different perspective now as you continue to progress in your career as well?
I've always been like, no matter what I've did throughout life, I've always been a leader. Like I've always wound up putting myself in a leadership role because I like helping other people, and I just feel like if we're all good, like it makes the product better. It makes the school better, it makes our reputation better. And I don't know how I really don't know how I landed into the assistant trainer role. Just one day they were like, yeah, you're an assistant trainer now. And then I looked on the website and my picture is on there, and I was just like, all right.
Oh shit!
Like that, huh? They didn't give you a call and I was like, hey, can you do this for us? We want to do this. Just like, hey, here's your new role. What do you think?
Yeah, I was just like, all right, cool. But I'm really grateful for it because I'm with the other trainers that really know their shit, like really know what they're talking about. I give them so much praise. They're so smart. I even still run things by them. Which is, I mean, like, even though you're a trainer, you still never stop learning, So it's definitely, and I really enjoy learning. So becoming an assistant trainer, it really put me in a different perspective of really paying attention more and really watching other stuff and trying to learn stuff for myself, but then also want to learn stuff to help the students as well.
I can only imagine because, like, I come from a jiu-jitsu background and getting to work with, kids with disabilities and things like that. It's a totally different monster. It's one thing to know how to do it yourself, but to be able to try to teach that to somebody else, man, can always be quite the challenge because everybody's different. Everybody learns different. Everybody receives information different. So like being, coaching anybody in anything is definitely something that is hard to do. Amanda, if I'm not mistaken, your next show is going to be Absolution, correct?
Yep. July 23rd, Tadmore Shrine, Akron, Ohio.
All right. So I got to get the full lowdown. Again, we were doing our research and all that stuff. I see the Jamaican heritage in there. I see the Dominican stuff. So tell me, tell me where you're originally from, and tell me how much does having that Dominican background, the island background, I feel like it sets you apart from most of the people you're seeing out on the indies right now. So tell us a little bit about that and how does that intertwine into your game?
Okay, so I was originally born in the Dominican Republic, but I'm much more in touch with the Jamaican side of my family. My dad's ancestry is from Jamaica and Trinidad, which I recently found out that his dad was Trinidadian, so that's pretty cool. But and then my mom's side is Dominican side, but I'm really in touch with the Caribbean culture in general, and I want to get it out there more because I just feel like, a lot of people don't really understand Caribbean culture, and our culture is way different from American culture. And I just want to spread the love, I just want to spread the love. Like being Caribbean is so important to me. And also like not a lot of Black people in America can trace their roots and trace their heritage back. And for me to be able to trace it all the way back and be able to like seriously represent it is very important to me. So hopefully the more out there I get, you know, the more people will really, you know, try to find out more about the culture and stuff. I'm going to start posting like videos and stuff like so people can learn more about the culture and stuff anyway. But you know, it's an important piece of me for sure.
I can only imagine. So I asked that because I'm totally intrigued, especially by the Jamaica part, because I actually had to choose like for one of my college classes, you had to choose a country. It had to be any country, and you had to like go through like the different food and like what the, you know, like what the living situation's like, and just go through all the different things and do your research and look into it. And I've always been so fascinated by Jamaica, not just because of the island of it and the look of it, but like I'm a big food nerd too. So like the jerk chicken and all that stuff was that was calling my name as well. So as I was doing my research, I saw that you're a big fan of the food and stuff as well too. So what are some of your favorite foods, both on the Dominican side and the Jamaican side, that we need to check out? Because I'm not going to lie, that was one of the biggest things that jumped out. I'm like, damn, I could get fat if I go over there because I can
Yeah, boy.
So ackee and saltfish, I love that. Anything curry, so curry chicken, curry goat, all of that. That's really good. I want people to try that. Brown stew chicken is really good. So in the Caribbean, instead of like mac and cheese, it's called macaroni pie. It's a tad bit different. It's got like a little kick to it. That's definitely something everybody should try. And this probably
I feel like
sounds
a lot of the Jamaican food seemed to have a lot of spice to them. Like everything I saw, like when you go down the thing, just seemed like, is that a thing like over there that's just like a lot of dishes tend to have like more spice to them?
I think really in the Caribbean, like in general, like a lot of them have like a little more kick to it. But yeah, definitely in Jamaica for sure. Definitely has a little more spice in the food for sure.
Well, J-Bone, I know you had a couple questions about
I'm hungry.
I mean,
like,
I'm with it. Let's go, bro. Like, I mean, I still haven't ate yet today. I'm sure we can look and find some kind of flight and shit. It might take me a while, and then my work might even be more pissed because I not only won't be there to sling the mail, but I'll definitely not be in the country anymore. So hell yeah, let's sign me up. But I'll turn this one over to you, bro. I know you had a couple questions for that one.
Yeah, sorry to catch y'all off, but definitely also try oxtails. Like that's like the mecca right there. Oxtails is the greatest thing I've ever had in my life.
Oxtail. All right.
I've heard a lot of people say that. I've never tried that before, but I've heard a lot of people say that. I've never tried that yet. Because see, that's the thing. That's the one thing that was so scary to me when I was like looking through the foods when I was going and doing the thing for Jamaica. Because anyone that follows the show knows I have Crohn's disease, right? So therefore, spices sometimes aren't good friends with Kyle, but it doesn't mean that I don't want to taste that shit anyway. So I feel like if I went to Jamaica, it would be one of those where it'd just be like, you know what, we're gonna hope that this Imodium helps me out right quick, and we're gonna be good for the weekend because I feel like there's a lot of shit I want to try if I get down there. All right, J-Bone, what do you got?
I know I love talking about food. I could sit here and talk food all day. I love to learn new foods and all that. But I'm a music guy. As you can see back here, if you can get the camera right, there's my buddy Bob Marley back there. Now, I don't know a lot of reggae music, but I know the island provides tons of good reggae music. Give me something, school me on something. What do I need to listen to?
So actually, reggae is like the main term, I guess, but then there's like umbrella terms. So you got like dance hall, roots, ska, like it's a bunch of like different umbrella, like branches under the tree, you know. Right. So I'm really big on like Vibes Cartel, Spice, Mad Cobra, Bougie Bantan, Beanie Man, Elephant Man, you know, Shensia. So it's a lot of people that from Jamaica that like that. Like y'all could definitely check that out. But Bob Marley is always a good. That's always a good
best,
choice.
right? Always the best, right? But some of those artists, Beanie Man, Elephant Man, I've heard they have crossed over to America and they have done very well for themselves here. So
yeah,
there it is, providing good music.
Is it bad that when you mention Beanie Man and Elephant Man, the first thing I think of is like the old Def Jam games and like beating the shit out of them on the game?
I love the Def Jam games.
I did too, man. I did too.
Yo, shout out to
shit.
Megaran. I saw him on his Backbone the other day. He was playing Def Jam Fights for New York. I'm like, man, I will never forget when that game came out right before my birthday that year, and I remember being so pissed because Fat Joe was such a pain in the ass to beat.
Yeah.
Every time,
was
bro.
he the big boss?
He was one of the bosses. He was one of the bosses,
okay.
and it took me like 5 times to finally beat his big ass because he took so much damage.
Hey, good times.
Hey,
Remember,
know where we can go on
living.
3 counts.
Simple
We gave you
living
food
when,
suggestions. We gave you
when
we
video
gave you
games
food
was
suggestions,
what we
video
need to
game
worry
suggestions. Let's go. Hey yo. Hey man, like I said, we get down over here on knockouts and 3 counts. I'm still debating if we're gonna throw up the Twitch channel. Maybe I'll start pulling my Xavier Woods out and start showing you what I'm doing on WWE 2K22. But you know, people were asking what your next show was and all that stuff. I gotta know. Tell me about this whole thing with you and Katie Arquette. Like, where'd the beef start? Y'all have been going at it for quite a while now, and now I see that at Absolution, you guys are going to be going best 2 out of 3. So that's going to be a long-ass match. How do you feel about the stipulation, and how do you plan to best old Katie because she snuck out with a victory in your last go-round?
You know, I don't know how the beef started, actually. To be honest with you.
Bagger again. Start with the bag.
I ain't mad at
it. Like, we had our first match in AIW. I want to say in March. It was in March, I think. And then after that, like, I wrestled Shaz and McKenzie at AIW. And then so I was like, okay, you know, because usually I'll be like, you know, one and done, who's next, you know. They step up, they fall down, you know. So while I was doing the show in the Bahamas, I had broke my phone. And so I got on the computer and was talking to, I can't remember who I was talking to. I want to say it was one of the wrestlers' girlfriends. And she was like, hey, so she's like, you excited for your match with Katie on Cinco de Mayo? And I was like, what? Okay. Because I can't see anything because my phone is broke. So I'm like, what? I didn't even know I was on the show. I'm like, I didn't even know I was on the show. And then she's like, yeah, you're wrestling Katie on Cinco de Mayo. And I was like, all right, that's cool. So so we had another match. And then I'm like, okay, so I guess it's a feud now. So and then we had that match at Gangster Rap, and at that point, this was my
which
third
was a
time
brawl, by the way.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with that. Yeah,
Hey, you put the woman through chairs, man. Holy crap!
Wait, when they said all the matches there's no rules, I was like, all right, say less. You know, like, we're gonna have fun. So, you know, we did that. I tried to kill her, but you know.
I'm not mad at you. You went mafia style and tried to bag her, all right? I am not mad at all about that right now. Like, you tried to pull your best Sopranos move out. I'm not mad at it.
I ain't mad at that at all.
It was just at that point I was like, I wrestled this girl like 3 times at this. Well, this would be.
She gotta die.
Yeah, I'm like, she gotta get on, man. Like, she gotta get out of here. I'm trying to do something else now. So now they're like, it's the 2 out of 3 falls. This the rubber match or matches for the feud. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, so I'm just gonna win 2 straight because I'm not trying to wrestle 3 matches and when I really don't want to do this 2 matches, but you know, I'm not gonna complain. You know, I'd rather wrestle than not wrestle at all. But you know, I gotta get her up out of here because I want to do some other stuff with other people.
Gotta get out.
I like it. She said I got to get her up out of here. She said we're making quick work. So you guys definitely got to check out AIW Absolution. We always love a little bit of shit talking this time of year. But speaking of shit talking, you know, we got a few questions in the comments. I told everybody that we would get to these things, especially like we mentioned, you know, with Isaiah coming through. What up, Doe? Appreciate you checking us out. Here we go. So number one. I'm going to give you the same give you the same opportunity to answer the same question that we asked Isaiah first, because we've got a lot of people asking about how you were feeling after his death match with Tommy Vendetta. So before we get to that, explain to us how y'all met, because I'm not going to lie, you guys are quite the power couple, and at Absolution, I mean, Pretty Boy Smooth and them might need to be on the lookout right quick.
Yeah. So I've been friends with Jackson Stone since I started.
Shogun.
Yeah, that's been my guy for a long time. And he was friends with Jackson Stone because they knew each other from Detroit. So he said, Isaiah said he knew who I was like a year or two before we met. And I was just like, oh, okay, because I didn't know who he was. But I want to say I like start paying attention to who he was, but not really, like early 2019. Like we'd like he'd comment on my stuff sometimes, and like I see him on like Shogun stuff. So like one time they did this match and everybody was bald headed in the match. So I was like, wow, this match bald headed as fuck. And like it was a 4-way. Everybody was bald headed. So I was like, damn, like okay. So he was like, I was supposed to be on a Pro Wrestling All-Star show like June of 2019. And he was like, that's the only reason why he came to meet me, but I didn't come. So he was mad about that. So I wound up getting booked for an XI show in August of 2019 at the Crowfoot and in Pontiac. And I almost didn't come because I had a show in like Waukesha, Wisconsin the night before, and it was like a 10-hour drive. I was really tired. And I was like, I might cancel for real because I just could not do it. But somebody I was training with at the time hit me up and was like, hey, can I come to XI with you? So that person is the reason why I wound up showing up. So, but we met at the XI show. And then I guess from there, it's just, you know, it was just like,
the rest is history. And now y'all are dishing out clotheslines and all that kind of shit. Well, Devin has a few. Devin, well, shout out to Devin, everybody who's been watching for a long time. No, speaking of Isaiah Broner, and now he's retweeting the stuff. What up, though, bro? Yeah, Devin being one of our original hosts, and he's been saying for a while he wanted to see you come to the show. So he's got a couple questions. As many know, you know, Isaiah is one of our boys. We've been rocking with him for a minute. He's got a couple good questions. He said, I've been waiting to ask this for some time. How do you feel with creepy dudes sliding into your DMs and sending inappropriate pictures? I said, we were talking about this. I was like, dude, Isaiah knocked their head off. But I mean, you know.
Yeah, just send back a video of Isaiah knocking somebody's head off, dude. Better call God, bro. What do you want? What do you want?
Now, I get weird messages a lot, like really creepy, weird messages. So
wrestling fans, stop that.
Fans and some wrestlers, but as far as fans, like, well, I send Isaiah everything. I be like, look at this, like, and we laugh about it or something, or he'd be like, they weird, that's weird.
He's like, book me against this guy, would you?
But like most of the time, I just block them, or like if it's like somebody that he knows, like actually knows, like he'll handle it. But most of the time, I just laugh at it and block them because some of the messages are really outlandish. Like, Like somebody,
Dude, I don't get
they
like, and the funniest thing is it's like, you know damn well you wouldn't say any of this shit if they were actually gonna try to talk to you in person anyway.
Right. For sure, for sure. Like but you know, some people feel like they're bold. You know, a lot of fans be like, "Oh, you know, I'll say it to him." Like, no, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. But it's okay.
The internet gives people a lot of courage. That's for sure. It's crazy. Internet's a crazy place.
It is. Mm-hmm.
All right, Devin's got one more good one, and he's already asked this one to past guests of the show, like our good friend Lindsay Snow and the Woad and a few others. So, have you know, as a woman who wrestles, have you ever been out with your man and had a rough match, bruised up and had a black eye or something, and somebody was asking if it was him who did it?
Yeah, it hasn't happened with Isaiah, but yeah, that has happened to me before. Like, I was at a restaurant and I had like a big ass bruise on my arm, and I went to the bathroom, and my waitress came in. She like, "Do you need help? Do I need to call somebody?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" she points to the bruise on my arm. I'm like, "Oh no!" I'm like, I'm a wrestler. Like, it's from wrestling. And she's like, "Oh." She's like, "Cause you know, if you need help, like I'll call somebody. I'll call the police." I'm like, "No, it's fine. I'm good. I'm good."
You should have seen the other girl.
Plus, doesn't help anything. Go ahead.
Yeah. So other than that,
dude, and it's funny because I feel like that would be 100 times worse too, because he's this big sumbitch too. So
yeah.
Wait a minute, is he trying to beat you up? Like, no, I promise, it's just my job. Oh my god, I can see that being.
What about
that
when
would
he's
be
got
something
cuts
else
and
for
bruises
sure.
all over him? Are they like, "Hey, are you okay, man? Is everything all right with you?" Is she, you know?
Recently he did have a black eye for Michelle. Yeah. And people was looking at us crazy at the store, but I was just like, oh.
Yeah,
like,
comes with the business, right? It's part of the business.
Right, he'll be all right too.
He'll be all right.
Well, speaking of him being tough, you know, what were your thoughts on his recent death match with past guest of the show, Tommy Vendetta? Because I enjoyed it, but he told us that you weren't such a big fan.
Now, I actually like deathmatch wrestling. I like watching it. I think it's pretty cool. It's cool to see how crazy people can get. And I love Tommy. I absolutely love Tommy. That's my guy. But I told Isaiah specifically that I do not want to see him do no damn death match. And he was just like, "Oh, I don't think he even told me that it was a death match. All he told me was he was going to ICW. So I'm thinking he just doing one of those pit fight matches. And then he sent me the match. Okay. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then he like, oh, you know, I told you how it went in me, and I was only gonna do it with Tommy. I'm like, I should beat you and Tommy.
Wait, in his defense, he did say that he wasn't aware of the type of match. He said he got there.
He said originally it was supposed to be in the pit.
Yeah, and he got there. He's seen the chains and all the crazy stuff going on. He kind of just went with it. In his defense, I'm just saying.
Yeah, but he ain't tell me though. After he got there, he told me. So I wouldn't be on his ass that bad. But it's cool. Like, they didn't get too crazy, like too crazy. But I was just like, yeah, don't do that shit no more. But,
that was cool. Just don't do it no more.
Hey, great job, but don't ever do it again.
I ain't got time for that. We ain't got time for that. I don't
can't be having you looking like you're fucked up. I don't want nobody coming at me in the damn grocery store. All right.
Plus, I don't want him to get stuck in that realm of people just booking him to do death matches. Like, and it's nothing against others that just get booked to do death matches, but him specifically, I feel like he has a lot more to offer than to just get constantly booked to do death matches, and like it scars up your body and all that. And you know, we ain't got time for that either. So So, but
I'm not mad at it, but go ahead. Sorry, there's a little lag.
No, you're good. I just don't want him to fall into people like, I want to book you for a death match, want to book you for a death match, want to book you for a death match, because I know he won't be happy with that.
So that brings up a good question, and I just thought of this off of what you said. We mentioned that you have gotten to do your thing with AEW Dark, as we saw. He's been doing his thing with AEW here and there as well. How much has that been a help, for like you guys as a couple, like to be able to bounce things off of each other, especially, while you're both trying to get signed by whomever that might be, whether it's AEW, WWE, MLW, whatever the case, with both of you guys being going after the same thing and doing it at a high level, because like I said, you guys have both been with AEW already. How has that been beneficial for both of you guys to be kind of grinding after the same thing?
We are able to understand things more together. Like if he has an issue about something wrestling related or whatever, I understand, and we could talk about it and work through it, and vice versa. So it's like, people date people and marry people that are not in the same profession as them, aren't doing the same craft. So sometimes they don't understand, or they get upset about them not being home or something like that. But me, like, if you got to go somewhere, I'll be like, bye, have fun, like, because I get it, because sometimes we have to spend our time apart. So it's helpful, because I've always wanted to do something I love with somebody that I love. So it's nice that we get to road trip together and do stuff like AEW together and stuff like that. And then when we don't get to do stuff together, we talk about stuff wrestling wise. Like even on vacation, we'd be like, we went to Myrtle Beach and we was in the middle of the bowling alley, and we was like, hey, let me try this on you. Like, so like you can't do that with somebody that's not doing the same thing that you're doing.
So I heard you. I saw a picture that you posted the other day. Are you guys going to start doing like travel vlogs with y'all being out like this, or
Yeah, we
those
are.
seem to be all the move these days, man.
Yeah, we are. We're gonna. I meant to do it when we went up to Boston for Wrestling Open, but we wound up not doing it. That was such a long trip. But we're gonna start this weekend in Apso. And then I'm going to do something, because I'm actually wrestling in Trinidad next weekend. So I'm going to do a solo one.
Nice.
But,
yeah.
But we're definitely going to start, vlogging and stuff together, because we are doing a lot of shows together coming up. So.
Hell yeah. Well, let everybody know where they can find that. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button, share it, comment, keep the comments coming. If you got any questions, we ain't scared of them, drop them in the comments. Hey man, like I said, that's one of the things that's become like a calling card. People, seem to get a little ruffled by some of the shit that comes out of this show. So I always try to like put that out as a disclaimer these days. But speaking of ruffling feathers, we talked a little bit about Absolution already, but we already mentioned what went down at AIW 3D. All right. You were in the ring, kind of letting us know what time it is. And Pretty Boy Smooth definitely, I don't know, he definitely stepped over a line. So before we get into their match and your thoughts on that match, what are your thoughts, being that you and Smooth used to be part of 40 Acres and all that stuff, for things to be where they're at now?
See, again, like all this beef, and I don't know where it be coming from. Like, I thought we was cool. Like we tagged most of last year. We've been friends for a long time, like at least 5 years at this point. And so for him to just, first of all, he attacked Isaiah at Gangsta Rap. And then he punches me in the face, and I'm just like, damn, like I thought we was family, like what happened? So I don't understand the animosity. I don't understand the beef. He's talking about he feels overlooked, like pushed to the side, which that's never been the case for me. Because, like I said, he's always been, that's always been my guy, So, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. But it's going to get handled, though. I will say that.
I don't know, man. I feel like homie might have just got himself into a little bit of trouble, but damn. I feel like
it might be bad times.
I feel like somebody might be having to make a call to God out here. We were talking about people sliding in people's DMs, man. Sounds like somebody might be a little bit jealous because Isaiah pulled the trigger first. I don't know. Just kidding. But I don't know. Hey, don't mind me. I'm just starting shit like usual. Irrationally, it means that. Let's see. What does that say? I heard today that when otherwise rational people act irrationally, that means there's bigger things at stake. Hey, man. I mean, it seems like there's quite a lot at stake come Absolution. I don't know about you, J-Bone, but I definitely am going to be tuned into IWTV to see how all this plays out. I mean, here's the thing. Do you think now that you've had a few matches with Katie and all that, and having Isaiah on the card, is that going to make Absolution any more sweet when you guys both go in there and get these W's, or does it bring any more pressure given all of your guys' stuff is all intertwined?
I think it's going to make it just that much sweeter because I know we're both going to win. I feel like this show alone is like already special. Like Abso is our big, it's AIW's, big show. It's like our WrestleMania and stuff. So it's already pressure on everybody for everything to go smooth, everybody put on stellar matches and stuff. But I feel like our group performs well under pressure. And I know we perform well under pressure. So it's just going to make it that much sweeter. Like, this is our first Abso. This is our first Abso as a couple. And then we're going to get wins on our first Abso. And, so.
Very confident. I like it.
Hey.
I ain't mad at it.
They said they're counting paychecks come Abso. And hey, if you're counting paychecks, make sure you check out our sponsors at G3 Payroll, Tax, and Accounting. Tell them Knockouts and 3 Counts sent you. I'm just saying. Everybody's got a price, and the price was all right for me this year. Jack hooked it up on the taxes. So, like I said, hit up the homies over there at G3 Payroll and Tax. Tell them Knockouts and 3 Counts sent you. But I don't know, man. This weekend is looking pretty badass. Well, we've got her thoughts on her match. We've gotten her thoughts on Isaiah's match. I figured if there's any way for us to end this show, something tells me that she's going to have a real funny answer to this question. So I'm going to bring back a segment that everybody loves on this show. We call it Locker Room Etiquette. Now, we've had everybody from Booker T to Stevie Ray to Josh Briggs from NXT to everybody in between and giving their thoughts. We've had everything from wash your balls, keep your baby mama out the locker room, bring your own wrist tape, bring your own squirt bottle. The old classic ones like shake everybody's hand, and Silas Young telling us don't get too comfortable. So if you've got any pet peeves or any locker room, pet peeves at all or etiquette, what would it be? Anything you got?
Okay, look, I got a few of them. Okay.
Oh yeah, here we go.
One thing I absolutely hate is like I get to a show and like guys, they'll say hi to Isaiah or they'll say hi to any guy that I'm with and literally skip over me. And then they found out that I'm a worker. Like after I got my gear on, I have my match. They be like, "Oh, hey, hi! I didn't shake your hand earlier." Like, yeah, of course you didn't, you fucker, because you walked right by me. So now it's like, so it's just like shake everybody's hand if you're gonna go around shaking hands. Like, don't just skip over me. You see me standing right here. But I don't like shaking hands anyway. I'd rather just say hi and then keep it moving. But don't just absolutely ignore me. Like I don't like that. But then also, yes, I 100% agree with wash your gear because, like, if your gear stink. You open up your bag and the whole locker room smell like ass now. Like, now I can't be in here because it stinks and I got a weak stomach and I throw up in here because it stinks in here. And that happened. I did a show in Michigan this year and the locker room smells so bad.
Of course, it was in Michigan. Damn it!
I was about to say, of course, of course.
Somebody,
Of course
it was.
smelled
Of course it was.
horrible.
Fucking A.
Their gear smelled horrible. Like I couldn't do it. I couldn't even drink my water in there. I was like, you know what? Let me just let me go outside. Y'all tell me when my match is about to come up because it stinks here. It was ridiculous. Like, wash y'all gear. Like, come on. And then
I want to know what the excuse is though. Like, why wouldn't we wash our gear? Is it because of the traveling? Is it because there's not a freaking wash tub around or something? Like, I don't know. Like, what's the excuse?
I don't know. Like,
Or people are just nasty motherfuckers. That's always an answer.
That's fucking pure Michigan.
That is a good answer. But it's like it's ridiculous. Like, it doesn't take that long to hand wash your gear. Like, have multiple sets of gear, have them all like sealed off from each other. Wash your gear. Like, it's not that hard. Like,
these are difficult to launder materials.
I could see it. I could see that being the case. Like, if you're traveling a lot, you're on to the next town, you don't really get a chance to wash your gear. But in that sense, you should probably have a backup or something. I don't know. I mean, I'm not.
Yeah, you should have multiple sets of gear. Like, I have multiple sets of gear. So just in case if I wind up not being able to wash one, I have another set. Like,
at least some Axe body spray or something to do you good.
Something,
you know?
because I don't want to be smelling hot dog water during my match. Like, I'm good.
Wow.
She said she'd like to keep Limp Bizkit on the CD.
Oh man. I love locker room etiquette.
Because I'm a little impulsive. So if I smell something or see something that I don't like, I'm going to say it. And it's not going to always come off as nice. So I'm just like, but it's like, you know better. Like, it's like when people be musty on shows and it's like, why are you musty? Like, you know, you about to come here and do and wrestle around with somebody and you have the audacity to be musty. Like, come on. Like, you can get some deodorant from Dollar Tree for $1. Like, come on. Like,
right. This is true.
I totally agree with this. Anybody that's been listening to the show has heard my story of my first jiu-jitsu tournament that I ever fought in. Homie had to find out today that dude, like this kid's gi smelled so bad that I almost threw up standing across the mat from him. Like, it smelled that bad. And then it was even worse because then he caught me in a triangle choke. So even worse. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, I'm about to throw up in this guy's gi. And I stood up with him on my shoulders and power bombed him. And they were like, that's illegal. I said, well, my bad. He should have washed his gi.
I can't breathe. I literally can't breathe.
Dog, I ended up getting a staph infection from that motherfucker. So I am a big proponent of please just wash your fucking gi. And then the worst of it is like, I wouldn't have fought him. What are you going to do? Forfeit? Like, what are you going to do? I quit?
all right.
Hell no. Hell no. I've never gone out like that. I ain't never going out like that. Wash your ass. It's not asking too much. Wash your ass, bro. I mean, you know what's not asking too much if you're a wrestling fan, you got to be checking out Absolution this weekend. So if you've got last words for Katie Arquette, Pretty Boy Smooth, or just anybody that needs to be hopping on the Jazlyn Navarro train, please feel free to do so and let them know where they can find you on social media and all that good stuff.
As far as Katie and PB, it's really nothing else that needs to be said. They know what time it is on Saturday. So that's that with that. But then as far as, everybody that's finding out about me, still learning about me, all that, you can follow me on Twitter at Joss_E_Navarro, Instagram, Jazlyn__Navarro, and Facebook. I would never delete Facebook. That is such a wild place. Jazlyn Navarro. You can friend.
You're not long.
Cool.
Just don't be one of the creepers in the DMs, guys. You don't want to have to call God.
Yeah, just don't message me, please. Don't. Don't do that. But follow me. I'm really all over the place. We got Absol this Saturday. Wrestling in Trinidad on my birthday, by the way, next week. We got something special coming up that first week of August, and then AIW has a whole load of shows in August, and we got our big J-Lit tournament coming up at the end of August too. Make sure y'all tune into all of that too.
I feel like there's plenty to be tuning into. I'm glad that we got to make this happen. I've been telling Isaiah for a minute I was going to reach out. I'm glad we got to do this. Definitely can't be the last time. And for anybody that was watching our shows last week, if you guys are going to be there this Friday, me and J-Bone will be in the building, Circle 6, the Jam Handy here in Detroit. Shout out to Mike from Circle 6 for coming on the show last week. D-Mac, just don't hit me with that damn hockey stick with the explosives in it, all right? Just don't do that for me. In the meantime and in the in-between time, wash your ass. Peace.